The Galactic Council remembered the day Earth vanished. It happened without warning. One moment the blue planet sat peacefully in its solar system. The next moment it simply disappeared. No explosion, no debris, just empty space where humanity's home world once orbited. The Council sent ships to investigate. They found nothing. Earth and its 8 billion inhabitants were gone. At first the galaxy mourned. Humanity had been new to the stars. They had only made contact with alien civilizations 50 years before the disappearance. They were considered primitive but curious. Their technology was basic. Their ships were slow. Their weapons were laughable compared to the great empires, but they had spirit. They asked questions. They wanted to learn. Many races found them amusing, like children taking their first steps. When Earth vanished, the Council assumed it was destroyed. Perhaps they had angered some ancient power. Perhaps their experiments had gone wrong. The galaxy moved on. New wars were fought. Empires rose and fell. Civilizations expanded across countless star systems. Earth became a footnote in history books. A small blue planet that existed for a brief moment and then ceased to be. 1,000 years passed. Ambassador of the Empire sat in the Grand Council chamber. He was attending a routine meeting about trade routes when the sensors went wild. Every alarm in the station screamed at once. Ships scrambled. Weapons powered up. The council members panicked. Something massive had appeared at the edge of known space. Something that should not exist. Watched the sensor readings with growing horror. The object was planet-sized. It moved through space with impossible speed. It ignored every known law of physics, and it was heading directly toward the Council station. The Galactic Fleet assembled within hours. 2,000 warships from 30 different civilizations formed a defensive line. They represented the greatest military power in the known universe. Their weapons could crack moons. Their shields could withstand the heat of stars. They had never faced an enemy they could not defeat. The object stopped 1 million kilometers from the fleet, stared at the visual feed and felt his blood run cold. It was a planet, a blue and green planet with white clouds and vast oceans. He recognized it from the ancient records. Earth had returned. But Earth had changed. Strange structures floated in orbit around it. They were not ships. They were not stations. They were something else entirely. They pulsed with energy that the sensors could not identify. The readings made no sense. The power levels were beyond measurement. A transmission came through. A human voice spoke in the old Earth language that had been preserved in the archives. The Council's translation systems worked quickly. "This is the Terran Collective. We apologize for our long absence. We have returned to rejoin galactic civilization. We come in peace." Admiral of the fleet demanded answers. Where had Earth been? What happened to them? How did they move an entire planet across space? The human ambassador appeared on the. She looked ordinary. Brown skin, dark hair, calm eyes. She smiled warmly at the assembled aliens. 1,000 years ago, we were visited by beings from beyond this dimension. They offered us a choice. We could remain in the galaxy and grow slowly like all civilizations do, or we could come with them and learn things that no species in this universe had ever known. We chose to learn. The council erupted in questions. Beings from beyond this dimension. What did that mean? What had they learned? The human ambassador remained calm. She explained that the beings were called the architects. They existed outside normal space and time. They had watched the universe since its birth. They rarely interfered, but something about humanity had interested them. They saw potential. They saw a species that asked questions others feared to ask. For 1,000 years, Earth existed in a place between dimensions. Time worked differently there. The architects taught humanity things that could not be expressed in normal language. They showed them the true nature of reality. They helped them evolve beyond their physical limitations while still remaining human. Admiral demanded a demonstration. His voice was hostile. He did not trust these humans. They had been gone too long. They had learned too much. They were a threat to galactic stability. The human ambassador nodded. She closed her eyes. The entire fleet felt something pass through them. It was not painful, it was not threatening, but it was overwhelming. Every being in every ship suddenly understood something they had never understood before. They saw the universe from a different angle. They glimpsed the infinite connections between all things. It lasted only a second, but that second changed them forever. Admiral fell silent. His hands trembled. He had seen something that broke his understanding of reality. He was a warrior who had fought in countless battles. He had never felt fear like this. "We do not wish to frighten you," the human ambassador said gently. "We have returned because this is our home. We left as children. We have come back as something else, but we are still human. We still remember our friends. We still value peace." The council called an emergency session. They debated for days. Some wanted to welcome humanity back. Others wanted to destroy them before they became a greater threat. The arguments grew heated. Old rivalries flared up. The galaxy had changed in 1,000 years. There were new powers now, new tensions, new fears. Ambassador watched the chaos with growing despair. He understood what the others did not. Humanity could not be threatened. Humanity could not be destroyed. Whatever they had become, they were beyond the reach of conventional weapons. The fleet's power was meaningless against beings who had spent a millennium learning the secrets of existence itself. A small human ship arrived at the council station. It was not impressive to look at. It was simple and elegant, but it moved through space in ways that explanation. It did not use engines. It did not use fuel. It simply went where it wanted to go. 3 humans came aboard the station. They walked among the alien diplomats with quiet confidence. They were not arrogant. They did not boast. They simply existed in a way that made the other species feel small. The lead human introduced himself as Elder. He was old by human standards. His hair was white. His face was lined with wrinkles, but his eyes held depths that made look away. "We understand your fear," Elder said to the council. "We would feel the same in your position. A species you dismissed as primitive has returned with power you cannot comprehend. You wonder if we will conquer you. You wonder if we will enslave you. You wonder if we will erase you from existence." The council chamber fell silent. Every being held their breath. Elder smiled sadly. "We have no interest in conquest. We have no need for slaves. We have no desire to harm anyone. The architects taught us many things, but the most important lesson was simple. Power without wisdom is destruction. Wisdom without compassion is cruelty. We have spent 1,000 years learning to balance all three." He raised his hand. Above his palm, a small light appeared. It pulsed with colors that did not exist in the normal spectrum. Every being in the chamber felt warmth spreading through their bodies. Old injuries healed. Chronic pains faded. Mental burdens lifted. "This is our gift to you," Elder said. "Not weapons, not technology, healing. We have returned to help the galaxy, not to rule it. We will share what we have learned. We will protect those who cannot protect themselves. We will stand against the darkness that threatens all life." Ambassador found his voice. "What darkness?" Elder turned to face him directly. "The architects showed us things that exist beyond this universe. Some of those things are beautiful beyond description. Others are terrible beyond imagination. There are entities that hunger for life. They have not noticed this galaxy yet, but they will. When they come, the galaxy will need defenders. We have returned to be those defenders." The council argued for many more days, but slowly the fear began to fade. Humanity proved their words with actions. They healed the sick. They repaired damaged worlds. They ended conflicts that had raged for centuries. They asked for nothing in return. Not everyone accepted them. The empire remained hostile. Several other civilizations formed an alliance against the returned humans. They gathered their fleets. They built new weapons. They prepared for war. The war never happened. When the Alliance fleet arrived at Earth's new location, they found their weapons simply stopped working. Not destroyed, just stopped. Their ships hung motionless in space. Their systems went dark. Human vessels appeared beside each warship. They did not threaten. They did not demand surrender. They simply offered to repair the ships and send them home. The Alliance accepted. They had no other choice. Elder addressed the galaxy one final time. His message was broadcast to every world, every station, every ship. We were once like you. We feared the unknown. We fought over resources. We hated those who were different. The architects did not erase these parts of us. They helped us understand them. They showed us that fear can become courage. Competition can become cooperation. Hatred can become love. Evolution is not just physical. It is spiritual. It is mental. It is the journey of a species toward its highest potential. We have walked far on that journey, but we have not reached its end. No one ever does. The journey is the purpose. We invite you to walk with us, not as servants, not as followers, as partners, as family. The universe is vast beyond measure. There is room for all of us to grow. One by one, the civilizations of the galaxy began to respond. Some remained suspicious. Others embraced the new reality. Trade began. Cultural exchange flourished. For the first time in galactic history, there was a genuine chance for lasting peace. Earth had been gone for 1,000 years. In that time, the galaxy had continued its endless cycles of war and expansion. Empires had risen and fallen. Billions had lived and died. Nothing had really changed. But now everything was different. Humanity had returned, and they had brought something more valuable than weapons or technology. They had brought hope. They had brought proof that evolution had no limits. Any species could become more than they were. Any civilization could transcend its darkest impulses. The stars no longer seemed so cold and distant. The void between worlds no longer seemed so empty. Something new had entered the universe. Something that promised wonders beyond imagination. Gone for 1,000 years, humanity had returned with power beyond understanding. But their greatest power was not their technology. It was not their abilities. It was their choice to use everything they had learned for the benefit of all life. That choice made all the difference.